How are ya? Good. So what we're going to do today is I did a little video just like 5 seconds ago about a story time. I wanted to do planning, figuring out what I want to do. I did kind of introduce myself, but I'm going to do a little bit more of an about me in this one. I don't know if I've done an about me. So I'm going to do an about me. Like I said in the other one, my profession, I'm a dietitian, work for a hospital. Fun things. Another thing is I want to use this platform of mine to share my story, to share other stories about me, to use it as voice journaling, to get into my hobbies, to use for accountability, to share my life and my brain, and just like a documentary, vloggy, random stuff. I want to play games. I like games. I like plants and gardening. I shared on the last one. I like painting. I like drawing. Those have a lot of like trauma laced into them, so that's why I don't do a lot of them anymore. Mental health wise, I'm just going to lay it out there. I got depression. I've got anxiety. I've got ADHD, newly diagnosed. We're figuring it out. Maybe some autistic characteristics. We're exploring that. I'm trying to get a psychologist, maybe. Or not. Psychologist, psychiatrist, one of those. We'll figure it out. I think a psychiatrist. So that they can manage medications and treatments and stuff like that. Because it's just worth it to go there instead of PCP. And my therapist can't do medications and stuff like that. So we're exploring. I want tools. I want resources. I help other people get resources. I also deserve resources. And you also deserve resources. So we're going to do it. We're going to do the things. We're going to do it together. It's hard. It's hard to set up appointments. It's hard to do a lot of things. It's hard. Life is hard. We need resources. Deep breaths. Blow out your candles. Smell the flowers. Smell the freshly baked bread in the oven. Whatever you got to do. Okay, about me. My favorite color is dark red. That's a thing about me. Diagnoses, I think I said all of them. Oh, PTSD. Some trauma stuff. I have some sexual trauma, and I have like dating trauma and family trauma, financial insecurity issues. Not for myself right now, but just trauma related to financial insecurity. Insecurity in general for like home and relationships and stuff like that. So I'll share some of those stories and stuff on the channel. I will try to remember to put like content warnings, trigger warnings, stuff like that on there, so that people don't have to watch certain things if they don't want to. I'm also still going to try to keep it like general population friendly as much as possible. Maybe adult friendly, really, not generation. What the? Because I cuss. I do cuss. I will admit. I cuss sometimes, and that's hard to kind of cut back on. So that's basically that. I'm still learning. I'm trying to learn myself. It's hard. It's hard to learn what you like and what you don't like. What you want to do with your life. I've not taken a vacation as an adult. That's what I'm working on. I do a lot of budgeting. I could show you how I budget. I guess I budget a lot because of the financial insecurity, traumas, and stuff like that. I've got these talking cards. So I can read these and answer some of these until we get to like 30 minutes or whatever. That's what I would like to do. We've talked about my dog. I've got a dog. Her name's Bean. I've got more videos on her too. She is 11 years old. She's a beagle. She's a full-blooded beagle. No papers or anything. Her mom was a beagle. Her dad was a beagle. Woohoo! She's a beagle. So that's her. I like to read. My stomach hurts. I told the story before. I'm a little, like, not stressed, but, like, just emotional. Yeah. I don't know what, there's a bunch of different colors of these cards, so maybe I'll pick a few of each color, maybe. So there's 2 yellows. I don't know. Does it say? Does it say? Does it say? Yellow is get to know. Green is family time. Blue is what makes you you. And red is fun and random. You can answer these down in the whatever too. Oh, and if it's not gonna work or fit in, I'll pick a different one. Sorry for me yawning. I did get off work. I'm a little. I get stressed tired. I get stressed tired. When I'm stressed out or sad or like, my body just shuts down. And I'm trying to stay up more. Not stay up more, but feel more productive. Instead of like going and laying in my bed. So like if I come home and try to adjust to the day, maybe I'll stay out of my room a little bit longer. Because my room is my safe space, okay? Like, I will go in there and then I will just rot. And that's not good for my brain. Sometimes. Sometimes it's okay. Man. Okay. So, we're going to read these. Oh, these are so crazy questions. Some of these I don't even know. And I guess we will figure out if I grow, if we answer more of these questions later on, how I grow throughout it. But this one says, what are you most excited about in the next year? I have nothing. I don't really have goals. I am in survival mode. So I guess if I'm not in survival mode by this time next year, that's what I'm excited for. I am trying to continue to save to move out of this place. And I would be excited to get a PC, but that's not kind of in the cards right now. I think reading more books, learning about myself, if I had to say an actual good answer, what I want to hear, that would be it, is learning more about myself, my hobbies, improving my mental health, and maybe finding a new place to live. That's what I'm excited to work for. What is one thing you couldn't live without? I'll tell you right now, one thing I couldn't live. Oh, you can't read them though; it's backwards. One thing I could not live without is my dog. I cannot live without my dog. And that's crazy. Can live without, like, money, whatever, my phone, whatever, none of that. And the reason I say I can't live without my dog, again, therapy time, is because I have a lot of mental health problems. And if you know anything about people with mental health problems, trigger warning. I'm not going to get into details, but sometimes you feel like you do not want to be here anymore. And if you feel like that, please reach out, get help, call hotline, whatever you need to do. Reach out to somebody, tell somebody, because that's not a normal feeling to feel. Even though it's normal to you, which blew my mind. I was like, oh, doesn't everybody feel this way? No, they don't. But that's okay. But that's what gives me purpose. My dog gives me purpose. That's why my dog is part of the channel. Because she gives me purpose. So I might as well dedicate a YouTube channel to the one that gives me purpose too. So, yeah. If she ever leaves me, we will have a freaking story time, okay? I'm gonna need you. I'm gonna need you guys. I'm gonna need my besties. All right. Family time. Would you rather your parents hug you, praise you, or do something nice for you? more sharing my family. And if you are my family, this is something I don't tell people. So you're gonna learn a hard lesson. I'm an adult now. So my parents got divorced when I was a senior in high school. We were hoping that they would get divorced before that. It is very, very crazy. Like, if your kids want you to get divorced or split for their sanity. But it was just very toxic. And we could see it, and no one deserves to be hurt that way. And so they finally split up. We lost our home. Like, there was so much change that happened. And I started noticing a lot of anti-touch behavior in myself. Like, I didn't want to be touched, I didn't want to be hugged, I didn't want to be kissed. Kind of around when I was, like, starting to have a lot of trauma, and that could be that I was overstimulated by my surroundings, and so the stimulus of touch was too much. So, like, I would reject, and it breaks my heart because I love my mom, but, like, I would reject hugs from her and stuff like that, and I'm still kind of that way. I will hug people on my terms, and, like, the last video I was talking about, I hugged the family member who needed kind of validation and empathy, and just showing them that I cared, and it was, the moment was right to kind of give that physical touch, and it really felt like a connection of my heart to theirs. So, but when it comes to my parents, I will hug my mom if it feels right. If it feels right for me, I will hug my mom. Don't really hug my dad. I don't really see my dad. I don't really have a desire to hug my dad as much as my mom. Yeah. So, there's that. Praise me. I don't like praise. I don't like praise from anybody. Most of it is probably due to me not liking myself, not thinking I can accept compliments. I don't like being told. Now, here's the thing. Validating me, like, if I'm actually doing a good job and, like, validating me in the moment and being like, this work is good, keep up the good work, that I'm okay with, because it's not me directly. But telling me, like, oh, you're accomplishing so much, you're doing such a good job being an adult, like, don't like that. I don't like praise in that way. I don't like it being directed towards me. If it's, like, something I created or something I did, where it's not directly to me, that's okay. them saying, like, they're proud of me, like, it makes me feel awkward. Made me feel awkward. Doing something nice for me, my mom always does something nice for me. So if I was going to rather any of these, I would say do something nice for me. And it's not an act of her doing something for me receiving it. It's more so I know that's how she shows her love, because that's how I show my love. I do things for people without being asked, because I want to do it for them, and them receiving that with open arms validates my love for them. My mom she just does stuff all the time. Now, I talked to my therapist about this. When it comes to cleaning my house, I'm very particular. I like things done a certain way, and that's why I struggle with a lot of things and time for things, because I want to do it myself. I don't like accepting help. Now, if it's somebody buying me flowers, I'm okay with that. If it's my mom going, "Oh, I bought this little thing because I think you would like it," that's nice. Or if it's like laundry. I don't mind laundry. Laundry doesn't have to be done a certain way. If it's like, "Hey, I put these in the laundry for you to get them washed and dried," that don't bother me either. I actually like that a lot. But if it comes to like dishes, I'm very, very picky about my dishes, because I have a lot of like food history, background knowledge, stuff like that. Also, it's probably related to mental health. I think it's more like doing something nice for you. I feel like more of like buying something, doing something. Um, or like helping me like clean my car or change my windshield wipers, or um, like stuff that kind of needs done, that, like mowing my yard. I guess that's doing something for me. That's nice, because I'm allergic to grass. So, yeah, I mowed the grass yesterday, but if somebody wanted to mow my grass, I would not be mad if you want to come mow my grass. That's that question. Next question. Family time questions bring up a lot of trauma. So, what is your favorite thing about the relationships in your family? This is our family, but we haven't built our family yet. So, the favorite thing about the relationships in my family, I am learning a lot about my family as I get older. I am learning how close I feel to them, but not supported by them. So I love my family. My family to me consists of my mom and my sister. I have a brother. I have 2 older sisters other than my full-blooded sister. I have 2 older step-sisters. Half-sisters. Not step. Half-sisters. We have the same dad. We all have the same dad. But when I think of family, I directly think about my mom and my sister. When I think of my extended family, that extends to my cousin and her kids, which I consider my nieces and my nephews. I also have a older set of 2 nieces and a nephew. That's so funny. So I have 4 nieces altogether and 2 nephews. And with that, I have a new great nephew. So I'm a great aunt. I'm not a mom, but I'm a great aunt. Okay? And so, just kind of seeing them grow, I like that. Favorite thing about the relationships in my family, I can go to my sister for anything. Will I feel validated? Probably not. But can I go to her yeah, I can like go into her house and I usually try to ask for consent and just hang out and just exist. So that's what I like. With my mom, again, socialization company if I need it. And then with the kids, um, I just love them. I love them so much. Um, I love that they love me. That's crazy, isn't it? But like showing them unconditional love and seeing that unconditional love back, that's a good thing. That's what I like. And then I have an aunt on my mom's side that I talk to sometimes. She works a lot now, but I love her very much. And if she ever watches these, I did also give you a shout out. My Aunt TT. And so I've got two cousins on that side. So we don't talk a lot, but I love them. And again, it's that unconditional love. When we're together, we can laugh and pick on each other and just know that, we love each other, even though we're kind of a little bit mean to each other. But that's okay. To me, that's family. It's just picking on each other a little bit. Like, I can pick on them, but if you pick on them, that's a no. That's a shame on you. Woo! What makes you you? Do you think there is a difference between being smart and being wise? I'm pretty sure there's a definition difference, but I don't know it. But, I don't know the difference. Tell me in the comments what the difference is between being smart and wise. I think there is a difference. Like, personally, if I was going to say it, I would say, like, being smart is, like, kind of more intellectual, like, just knowing to know something. And being wise is knowing it and using it. Like, knowing it and applying it. Like, applying it to improve a situation. I feel like that's wisdom. Is when you know and you hold your tongue, if it's appropriate, or like just using the stuff in your brain appropriately. Kind of like hearing and listening. Hearing and listening are similar to me, like smart and wise. Hearing is like you audibly, whatever. It goes in your ear. You hear it. So if somebody says, hey, like you heard them say, hey. Listening is like, it was like actively like engaging with it. So you hear somebody say, hey, help. I heard him say, hey, help. But you heard him. But were you listening? Then we say, hey, help. Listening is, well, I'm just going over there. I didn't hear, like, I didn't just hear him. I was listening. I went over there and I did it. Just like if you're like sitting there, like this, I guess this is more so how I was raised, or like more so how I was taught, is like, do the dishes, please. That's how you should ask, by the way. You should say please and calmly. But it was like, do the dishes. And it's like, I heard you. Or it's like, can you do the dishes, please? Will you do the dishes, please? And it's like, you listen, you get up and go do it. You use your actions. I feel like that's the difference between smart and wise. Is smart, like, it's in your brain, but wise is like you apply it. You have actions with it. So, whether it's being wise is like, hey, that's quicksand. Probably shouldn't go over there. Like, facts about quicksand. That's quicksand. Versus, like, wisdom is like, yeah, not walking through the quicksand. It's probably wisdom. If people say words to wisdom, words to live by, like, I think words to live by, that's wisdom. That's got an action to it. That's what I think. You tell me what you think in the comments. And if you don't say anything, that's fine too. How important is money, and how do you know when you have enough money? I don't think anybody ever has enough money. I I say that, but, like, I think the brain thinks we don't have enough money. So, like, even if you have $1 billion, that's going out, like, the door. Like, you're adjusting your financial situation. I think how you know when you have enough money is when you feel comfortable. If you feel completely comfortable, secure, and that can be any amount, right? So somebody could have $1 billion and feel comfortable. Somebody could have $1 million and feel comfortable. Somebody could live paycheck to paycheck and feel comfortable. Somebody could have a little nest egg, little savings, and feel comfortable. I think it depends on the person. I don't think there's a monetary value. I think it depends on the person and when you feel comfortable. Right now, I don't feel like I have enough. And that's because I don't feel comfortable. I feel like I'm, like, using a lot of resources. And that does not make me feel comfortable. I think money is important. I think you can be happier with money. I think money lets you have a lot of resources. I think money, the internet, just like everything, has its pros and cons. So I think it's important. Is it the most important thing in the world? That just depends on your values. I don't value it too much, but enough that, like, I want to feel comfortable and secure. Then that's how you know you have enough money. In my opinion. In my humble opinion. That's not very professional. Fun and random. We're getting to the end. Would you rather know how to fly a plane, drive a race car, or climb a rock face? I'm going to assume that's, like, mountain climbing, but maybe not mountain climbing, like what are those? Oh, now I can't even think about them. You know what I'm talking about? They got the colorful little pegs in the wall. Rock climbing is what they call it, but it's not really rocks. But maybe it's rock climbing. I don't have a desire to climb rocks. I don't have a rock climbing desire. If I would not rather that. Now, if you had asked younger me, I would definitely say a race car because I like to drive fast. But if you were asking me, would I would rather know how to fly a plane. And hear me out. I could go far places. Think that would be fun. I think that is a neat skill to have. I think travel is awesome. Driving a race car, depending on how good you drive, you could get money. Flying a plane, you could get money too, because you could just, like, charge people for trips and stuff. If I had to choose out of those options, that's pretty simple for me. I'll fly a plane. Oh, I do not like this question. If you had a time machine for a day, what would you do with it? And my answer would vary quite a bit. If I had a time machine for a day, I would go back in time just to hear my mammy's voice. I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't change anything. Because you never know how it'll alter the future. But that's what I would do. I would go back to listen to her voice. That's a thing about... Why are we ending sad? Why? You're not supposed to end sad. My grandma passed away when I was 4, turning 5. So I was very little, and I don't remember a lot. And, trigger warning, crying at the end of the video. Yeah, that's what I would do with it. I would go back and just hear her voice. Because if you've ever lost somebody, you know how sad it is to lose somebody's voice in your mind. And the only thing she ever said to me was, you make a better door than a window. That's the only thing that plays in my head. So, it would literally remind me, if you've ever watched Meet the Robinsons, not the old Disney Robinsons something or other, but like the animated one with the dinosaur that goes, got big head and little arms, and I don't think this plan was thought out very well. That one. That Robinsons. Where he goes back and he's like, sees the day that he was adopted, and he wants to tell his mom, like, show him who he is, and then his kid is like, no. Sorry, spoiler if you haven't watched it, but it's like an older movie, so, that's what I would do. I would just go back, pick a day, and just watch. Sit back and watch and listen and just take in the person that she was. That's what I would do. But it will change day to day. I wouldn't tell myself anything. I could change a lot of my dating history and stuff like that too, remove a lot of trauma, but then that would change stuff. So I want to know where I was, or what I'd be doing, or who I was. So I might do that if I could go back and change it, and then have less trauma, and then see who I was. But then if I had less trauma, then would I get more trauma or different trauma because I didn't get the trauma that I was supposed to have? Weird questions. Anyway, you answer those questions. Tell me down below. Maybe we'll do some hobbies. I don't know. But this was therapy time. Story time voice journal number 2 with some questions. And I still got the crispy plant, if you were wondering. I haven't moved it. So, that's it. Bye. I will see you in another video. Comment, like, subscribe. There's bugs in my house because of the plant. Bugs!